Hello students, standard 6th revision in chemistry chapter number 4, sorting materials into group. In last session we see the different appearances by which we can sort out the materials, like having shiny lusters and non-shiny materials like metals and other things, soft and hard. Also we saw that the different types of objects made from the same material or same object can be made from the different material also. Similarly we saw that we choose a particular material for particular work. For example, we cannot use a cloth tumbler to keep the water or the milk and so on. So now there are so many other ways also to sort out the materials. The other category is that solubility. What is solubility? Solubility means when we put that material into water and if it getting dissolved, we can say that that material is soluble in water. For example, if you put some salt in water and stir it, the salt will dissolve. Sugar also will get dissolved. If you throw some potassium permanganate or copper sulfate, that will dissolve in water. So these materials getting dissolved in water, so they are known as soluble substance. But if you throw some sand in water, it will not get dissolved, it will settle down. If you throw the powder of chalk, pieces of chalk sticks, will not dissolve. Throw some stones in it, throw some iron nails in water, they are not soluble. So on the basis of solubility, we can classify them into two groups, soluble in water and not soluble or non-soluble in water. Generally, in chemical industries or in chemistry, if you talk, most of the chemical substances are getting dissolved in water. Water can dissolve so many substances, and you know that therefore the water of the sea is salty, because when water is getting passed from the soil, then it is getting dissolved, it dissolves some salts from the soil, and so many salt is getting dissolved in water and coming to the sea from the different rivers, from the other reservoirs, etc. And therefore the water of the sea is salty. So many salts are getting dissolved. So therefore water, as water can dissolve so many chemicals in it, it is known as a universal solvent. In the chemical industry, it is known as universal solvent because most of the chemicals are getting dissolved in water. Now, thus we can do an activity. Take the different materials one by one, put in the test tubes filled with water and shake it. if it is disappearing, then we can say that it is soluble in water. If it is settling down, then it is non-soluble materials. So on the basis of solubility, we can, like salt, sugar, sand, chalk powder, sawdust, etc. Now the other thing is the solubility of some common liquids also. Not only solids, but some liquids also getting dissolved in water. Actually in our body also, the things are getting dissolved and then they mix in the blood and they are getting transferred from one place to other place in our body also. Now liquids like vinegar, if you throw vinegar in water, then you won't be able to make them separate easily because they mixing in the water, it means it is also soluble. Similarly the lemon juice, when we mix lemon juice in water to make that lemonade, limbu sarbat, then it also mixes well properly. It means that lemon juice is also soluble in water. But if you put some drops of oil or ghee in the water, or you add kerosene in water, then they will not get mixed in each other. They will make a layer. As water is heavier, water will settle down and the oil will float on it. It means that water, the kerosene, oil, etc., they are not dissolving. They are insoluble in water. So, by this activity we can find out that any materials, either solid or liquid, is it soluble or insoluble in the water. Then you know that some gases also can dissolve in water. When you drink soda water, when you open the soda water bottle, what do you see? Bubbles are coming out, because when the soda water is made, carbon dioxide gas is getting dissolved in the water, and when you open the lid, that carbon dioxide comes out, and therefore we see the bubbles. So all the cold drinks are having this. When you open that, when it comes out, it means that the carbon dioxide gas is dissolved in the water. So all that carbonated drinks are like that. So therefore, as I told you, that water is the universal solvent, and this solubility of gases is necessary for the aquatic animals and aquatic plants. Oxygen also in some amount dissolved in water, and therefore the aquatic animals that can take only the dissolved oxygen, they have facility to take the oxygen like that. Similarly, now the other thing is to classify the materials is like that they float on the water or sink on the water. We know that if you throw some materials one by one and check, like if you put the sand, it will settle down, means it will sink in the water. Throw some pebbles, sink in the water. Throw some iron nails, sink in the water. But if you put some dry leaves, it will float on water. If you put some like a plastic ball, it will float. Plastic empty bottle also, it will float on the. Make a drop of honey, it will settle down. It means that, and if you put a drop of oil, it will float. So, on the basis of floating or sinking in water also, we can classify the materials in different groups. Then the other is the on the basis of transparency. On the basis of transparency, also we can classify the materials into three main groups. That are the transparent materials, translucent materials, and opaque materials. It is easy to check. Hold the object and toward the light. If you can see the light through that material, then it is a transparent material. If you see that clearly. But if you cannot see clearly, you can see, but not very clearly, then that material is translucent. And if you cannot see the object, then it is known as an opaque material. So on the basis of transparency, we can classify them, we can in the three categories: transparent, translucent, and opaque. Air is transparent, clean water is transparent, some plastic are transparent. But you can see from the other glasses, like colored glasses, or the glasses that are used to make the tube lights and etc. Then you cannot see the light properly. Then it is translucent. You can make a translucent paper also from the normal your notebook paper. What can you do? You can take a few drops of some oil and spread it in the water and rub it on the paper. Then if you will try to see the light, you will be able to see, but not clearly. Generally from the paper you cannot see the objects clearly. But by rubbing that oil or ghee or butter something on that, we can see them. So the transparent materials allow the light to pass through them completely. And I gave you examples: air, clean water, clear glass. They are the transparent materials. Translucent, they allow the light partially, not completely through them. And the examples are the tracing paper, butter paper, or the oily paper. Then last is the opaque materials, which do not allow the light to pass them. Nothing, not a single ray of light can pass through. And that are opaque substances, like the cardboard, wood, metals, plastics, etc. They are the opaque materials. Now, transparent materials are also very, very useful. For example, if you go in the shop, some small things like sweets, toffees, etc., they put in the container which is transparent, so that the people can look at it. In our kitchen also, the groceries and the other like spices, chili powder, turmeric powder, etc., we put them in the transparent bottles or the containers, so that it is easier to find out quickly. Otherwise we have to open them all if it is not labeled. But when it is transparent, you don't need to label them, and you can easily and quickly find out whatever you need. So that the transparency is also very, very important for you. Similarly, the other thing is very interesting that your hand, your palm is also a translucent. You can do this thing in a dark room. What can you do? Take a torch with your palm in the dark room. Switch on the torch and put your palm on it. Put your palm on it and observe the other side of the palm. Then you will see the like red color, and some light also will be seen from the palm. It means that it is not opaque substance, it is a translucent, and therefore some portion of light with the blood inside there, so it looks red. So it means that our palm is a translucent object. So you can give some more example. How can you say that water is transparent? You can use the activity. Throw some materials in the water, like a coin or a key. Then look from the top of the water. Then what is there in the water at the bottom? You will be able to see them clearly. It means that water allows the light to pass through them. It means that the water is a transparent, transparent material. But our palm is a translucent. So, in this chapter, we learn different type of sorting into groups, like luster, non-luster, metals, non-metals, heavy and light, soft and hard, soluble and insoluble, transparent, translucent and opaque. And still you can have some more categories in which you can sort out the materials. So now the last question is that what is the use of this sorting materials into group? Why grouping is very needed? We know that grouping is very important because it makes our activity easier. For example, if you go to the shop, if the goods are not sorted in the groups, like the soaps, bathing soaps, washing soaps, separately, groceries in the separate aisle, sweets and chocolates. But if everything is mixed up, then for one thing we have to look in the whole shop. And then it is very difficult to find out. Similarly in the kitchen also, we don't put everything together, spices and spices in one side. The cutlery like spoons and knives, and that you will put it in the different one, big containers with the groceries or the flour, etc. In your cupboard also, you make different compartments to put your clothes, like your clothes, your father's, mother's clothes. Similarly, your trousers and shirts. Then for the jewelry, for the cosmetics, and so many other things. You have to sort it out. Otherwise, your life will be difficult. So, the grouping is very important in our life. So, here we are going to finish the revision of this chapter. Will be followed by some questions already there here. And any confusion, write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.